Okay, y'all, let's have a little chat about self-concept and how you can hype yourself up or to get you what the fuck you want in the 3D and get you hyped to that next level of embodying the state of the version of you that has it all. The first thing that you want to do with self-concept is you always want to start your day whenever the fuck you wake up by concentrating on yourself, because remember, no one else exists. I am the Lord and there is none else. It's centered on me, what I want, what I'm about, who I am. You focus on yourself as you should, because you're the only thinker, perceiver, and observer. So if you're not focusing on yourself, then you're essentially putting something else in the focal point of your awareness, which is taking the attention off of you. And we don't want the attention off of God, right? You're gonna hype yourself up for the first 10 minutes as you start your day. This is preferably before you look at your phone or before you interact with anyone. Now, if you're living with a partner or any other type of family member or roommate situation, you want to be mindful to not interact with them. But even if you do interact with someone else, that's okay, because for the first 10 minutes, you're centered in your mind on yourself. So you can smile and nod at anyone else, but you're going to be affirming things about yourself. So whatever the fuck it is, I am the Lord and there is none else. Today is the most marvelous day that I shall experience, and every day keeps getting better and better. It doesn't matter what the fuck you say. This is specific to the individual, but you want to center it around everything always goes my way. I'm always being shown that I'm the center of all creation. I'm always being shown that every day gets better and better for me. You can make it as specific as you want, but keep the affirmations short. Now, if this is something that you are embodying in terms of removing a limited belief system, then you will say one affirmation for yourself, and then you will add in the affirmations such as, I am a money magnet, I am a multimillionaire, I'm in my dream relationship, I have my ideal body. You want to keep it short. So an affirmation focused on you and how you are the center of everything, as well as if you are working in that sector mentally, you would take a specific app that you are working on, and then you would bring that app's affirmation into it as well. And you repeat that to yourself. You can also do this while looking in the mirror, which a lot of times I recommend for self-concept work. You will look in the mirror, you will hype yourself up, but then you're going to imagine like all of the fucking chakras. You're going to imagine this ball of energy that is coming from your root chakra. You can look at a diagram online of what the chakra system looks like if you're not familiar, but you're going to imagine that red chakra energy that's by your crotchal region, and then you're going to imagine it charging up, charging up, charging up. You can't really see my crotchal region here, but it's all good. I know you fucking want to. You want to imagine this ball of energy moving up, then it's going to go all up through all the chakras. It's going to hover. It's going to hover in the center, the core, the heart, right? Your heart chakra, the green energy, because core is the core. It's the heart, which is an anagram for earth, which is how the earth matrix is constructed based upon the free-flowing passage of your heart chakra energy. So when the heart chakra is open, you have the lower chakras and you have the upper chakras in balance, and they are communicating very well, which is going to make things flow with ease to you that you want to experience. So then you're going to power this energy up, and you're going to really feel it powering up. You're going to notice the awareness in your heart chakra energy around this region, and then it's going to expand outward, and you're going to say, I'm a magnet for everything that I desire. I'm the Lord and there is none else. Okay, cool. Then we're going to go up into the higher chakras, and then of course you're going to breathe, because spiritus, because breath is life, because if you weren't breathing, you wouldn't be experiencing this physical vessel and all these sensations of tactile form in the earth matrix. So the breath is very important. You want to make sure that you breathe. And then you're going to say, I'm open to receiving everything marvelous, because the only marvelous things flow my way. All the news I receive is pleasant. All my surprises are good. Everything always goes my way. Every day gets better and better. You're going to power it up from the lower energy center by the crotch region, and you're going to imagine it expanding over here in the heart center. Then you're going to imagine it coming out through that crown chakra energy. And you're going to say, I'm open to receiving all this fucking goodness that is flowing my way. Okay. And that is going to be your routine in the morning. Okay. But obviously you can specify whatever affirmations are working for you, but that is something that I recommend if you are working on self-concept. Okay. You want to make sure the energy is flowing. And of course, if you do wake up and you're feeling dread or anxiety, you're feeling any type of constriction, this is going to be especially beneficial because you are releasing that energy with the breath. Okay. So you want to be mindful of this. Then you're going to go on throughout the day, and you're going to be mindful of your thoughts. How are you thinking? How are you interacting with individuals? You understand that as you being the only creator, the only observer of your experience, everything does revolve around you. So your automatic assumption before you interact with anyone, whether it's going on social media, whether it's responding to a text message, whether it's responding to a phone call, whether it is interacting with your partner or someone else in your household, or before you step outside, you are going to remind yourself, I am the center of all creation. Everyone exists to assist and serve me. Boom. Because to serve you, to serve the Lord, is serving themselves, and it brings them happiness. So you're going to assume it. You are going to project your power, because now that energy is open, right? You projected the energy upward. It's flowing. So you're going to project and assert your dominance. Now, what I recommend is when you step outside, you can do this if you want to place an energetic force field around you. Okay. And you're going to say, only good things come my way. I will be noticed where I want to be noticed. I will be invisible where I desire to be invisible. And you're going to put that force field up. And I recommend this force field be something that is a shape that you are in alignment with. Okay. So this is going to be different for everyone. You're going to pick the shape, and then you're going to imagine it as like a glowing figure around your fucking vessel. Okay. And this is your wall of protection, and nothing infiltrates this aura of protection unless you allow it. So nothing has its permission to disturb you, because you have this shield up, and that is very, very important. You have this shield up, which means that you are invincible, you are unmovable, you are unreadable. Okay. Unless you desire to be those things. So you have this wall up, you've already centered your energy, and you're carrying yourself with the awareness. Remember, pick a shape shape that is in resonance with you, and you want to picture it as an outline over your physical vessel. And you could even put a color to the shape, a color that resonates with you. It doesn't really matter, but you want to step outside, and then you want to imagine that that shape is around you and it's your protective aura, and it's keeping things that you want, such as stability and neutrality and groundedness, inside your little aura here, your little bubble of protection. It's keeping that inside. Nothing can infiltrate it. You're gonna imagine it's like a literal fucking force field. And then if you allow, you can say, only pleasant surprises await me. Everyone that I encounter always exists to assist and serve me, right? This way, anyone that you do encounter, interact with throughout the day, they can only be of that energy that you intend, and you can get as specific as you want with whatever the fuck you want, okay? So remember that force field is up, so no one can infiltrate unless you allow. With that intention, everyone exists to assist and serve me. For to serve me, it is serving the Lord, and nothing brings them more pleasure than to serve me. So whenever you interact with anyone, before you interact with them, whether it's via text or email or social media or in person on the phone, it doesn't matter. You're going to just assume this individual exists to assist and serve me. They are offering me things to my benefit because I'm the Lord and there isn't else, and you're just going to set that intention. It doesn't matter if you see results of that right away, but you want to get really solid and set that intention. This is why I'm telling you the routine to do every day. This way you can get it solidified, and the more that you do this every day, even if you don't necessarily see physical results right away in the 3D, you know that the result has already happened. So it's just about you reinforcing this idea so that you can get fully calibrated to this new way of being. So everyone from here on out exists to assist and serve you, okay? Or whatever your intention is for individuals, right? Because remember, there's no one but you. And because you calibrated yourself with that energy, now you walk in wherever the fuck you walk, you want to imagine that there's a camera crew looking at you, okay? You want to imagine that. You want to imagine that you're the center of the universe. And whether or not you're comfortable with this, it doesn't matter because it's going on in your mind's eye. So you can even picture paparazzi like looking at you. This is the movie of my life. Who am I being? You can pick an alter ego, which I recommend for some individuals as well, if that fucking resonates. And you walk with a purpose. You walk as if everyone is watching and as if the world is coming alive because you are in it, because that's how reality works, okay? Because everything that is going to form and render in your 3D realm experience, it's coming from that open heart chakra that we discussed, because the heart, the earth, that is how you are magnetized to things and things are magnetized to you. So you want to claim ownership over everything. So for example, if you're having a road trip and along that road trip you need to pee, but you don't feel like fucking buying something at the McDonald's, you're gonna walk into that McDonald's and you're gonna fucking assume, yeah, I'm just gonna go in the restroom. Even if there's a bathroom code, I don't need to buy shit. Everyone exists to assist and serve me. They're going to give me that bathroom code, either that or I'm gonna walk to the restroom. The code is gonna be broken or malfunctioning, or someone is just going to be exiting at the time that I'm entering. It's just gonna go smoothly. You claim ownership over everything. So before you do anything, you set an intention. This is going better than I expect. This is going better than I expect. That is what you do, okay? You do this no matter what you're doing throughout the day, whether it's a Zoom chat with your fucking boss, whether it's a text message from this individual that you're dealing with, it does not matter. This is going better than I intended. And that is your intention, and you're going to reinforce that every fucking day. Here's the thing, you really want to be mindful of this, because this is going to be the way that you are carrying yourself from here on out. You're not carrying yourself like a victim. You're carrying yourself as the individual who knows that the entire universe revolves around them. Everyone exists to assist and serve you. Everything always goes your way, better than you expect. If you're going to get on the freeway, you're going to set the intention. This ride is going to go smoother and faster than I expected. Whatever, okay? Just for any little thing that you are doing, you're going to set that intention, because it's intention that carries you throughout the day, because now you're setting the tone of the waves around you. So that anchor point is now saying, this drive is going to go smoother, faster, better than I expected, and then therefore it has to, because that's your anchor, and then you allow the waves to carry you to that next anchor point. And then when you get to the establishment and you want to fucking take a fucking piss and you don't feel like buying anything, the next anchor point is, oh, the restroom is already open. I breeze on in, boom, anchor point, the waves carry you there, yada, yada, yada. So you want to imagine it like you're setting down anchors and the waves are just going to carry you, and you leave it the fuck alone. You don't want to interfere with that anchor point. You want to just kind of set it, forget it, and do your thing. And it's not even a sense of entitlement. It's knowing that everyone and everything is coming from you. So if you don't feel entitled to the very best treatment, then you're not going to get it, because you're not carrying yourself as the individual who already commanded. So you're going to have this sense of entitlement. Everything is going to go my way. Every light is going to turn green as soon as I get to the fucking crosswalk. Every checkout line is going to miraculously be empty as soon as I get to the grocery store. Whatever the fuck you're doing, okay, you set that intention and you expect it. Whatever it is, whether it's a person or perceived inanimate object, nothing is inanimate because everything is alive. Everything is composed of waves, which are, coming based off of your projection, what you expect the wave to perform for you in the 3D as. So you're going to just keep setting that intention that everyone rises up to meet you. If you want no one to notice you, if you just want to walk through being invisible, that's your intention. If you want to walk in the street being noticed, you're going to picture yourself walking being noticed. Now you're going to see as well that this might contradict what I said about imagine as soon as you put your awareness on yourself that a camera crew is filming you. This is a movie of your life and it's happening in your mind. So you can even imagine, if you want to be invisible, that there's a camera crew showing that you're just weaving in and out of individuals and no one is noticing you, even though the camera crew is showing that. But the camera crew is still showing from the third person the movie of your life, that you are conducting yourself as someone who is invisible, undetected, off the radar, and then that's who you're performing as, okay? So really get into these alter egos. That's what I recommend, okay? You want to really embody and empower yourself with that, and sometimes that can help with self-concept if you're not necessarily feeling that way in your normal life. You would just set an alter ego for a baseline one throughout your day, or you could pick mini alter egos for your little interactions that you might have, okay? Because sometimes you might want to be noticed and sometimes you might not want to be. But the most important thing that I want you to keep in mind is that it all is coming from you, and it's not narcissistic. It's just that you have been trained and programmed that the world does not revolve around you. So when you start centering yourself, then it can be perceived as something that is narcissistic. Well, what do you mean no one else matters? It's only me. Okay, yeah, they don't matter matter unless you make them matter, because it's still your perception. You're the only thinker, you're the only observer, you're the only one in your mind who is thinking and feeling and perceiving someone as XYZ or ABC. You want to just assume, no matter what it is, even if you are in a heated argument with someone, they are still there to assist and serve you, because that is why they exist. They exist to serve the Lord no matter what. If you want a favor from someone, you don't ask for a favor. You set the intention. This is what I want. Whatever is meant to move to bring that to me shall be brought to me. If you want something specific from an individual, you're not going to ask them in 3D. You're going to summon them in your mind, and you're going to say, you absolutely love doing this for me. You absolutely adore doing this for me, because you're not doing this from a third dimensional level. You're doing this in your mind, so you're going to summon them. So let's say it's an individual in your relationship sector. You can say, you love being so obsessed with me. You love spoiling me. You love pampering me. You love giving me your MX Black card. Here, get whatever you want. I love you and I would do anything for you. So whatever the fuck it is, okay? Like, so that's what you're going to imagine. If there's a specific thing that you want from a specific individual, you're going to go in your mind, you're going to summon them. You say, you love doing this for me. You absolutely love it. I know you love it. And how you interact with that same individual in the 3D is already assume that they're going to do what you want them to do. This goes the same way. If you want someone to ignore you, just like we mentioned, if you want to be invisible, you're just going to imagine that no one sees you. If you want someone out of your experience, you say, oh, I'm so glad that that individual finally just, I don't know where they went, but they're better off far, far out of this timeline. They just disappeared. I don't know what happened to them, okay? That's what you do with specific individuals. And with specific situations, you're going to do the same thing. As I mentioned, if you have to take a fucking piss and you don't want to fucking buy something at the McDonald's, you're just going to intend that everyone just wants to help you out anyway. You're just going to walk with that magnetic aura that you set around yourself, and you're going to say, this aura allows me the safe space to traverse my 3D the way that I want to. And if I want to be invisible, that aura shields me. If I want to be noticed, that aura magnetizes things to me, okay? That's what you're going to do. There's no interest other than the self, okay? But remember, because you're the only awareness, there really cannot be an interest other than yourself, right? So you are just going to throw out all of the societal constructs of morals, of ethics, of what mainstream perceives as right or wrong, as good or bad, and you're gonna be like, what brings me the most happiness? And then you're gonna think about that. You're like, what would bring me the most pleasure from this situation right now? And then whatever brings you the most pleasure in that situation right now, you're just gonna assume that it's gonna be pleasurable for everyone, even if that situation is a motherfucker groveling, begging, and crying on their knees for you, and it might not appear from a third dimensional perspective that it's pleasurable for them. You're just gonna assume, because if that's what you want from someone, then it's gonna bring you pleasure. You're gonna assume that it's bringing them the utmost fucking pleasure to do that. Oh, they were so happy crying and begging on their knees for me. Oh, they absolutely loved groveling at my feet. They loved being my bitch. They loved bending over and spreading their cheeks for me. They absolutely loved it, because they can only exist to assist and serve you. So you're just going to assume that they like it, because then that brings pleasure to you. It brings pleasure to them, even if it's some perceived convoluted way. You want to assume that this individual is getting pleasure to serve you, because this individual and everyone and everything else is getting pleasure serving you, because the only thing that can occur in the 3D is that you're magnetized to things that you are summoning forth with your energy. And you've done this before with negative things, where you have summoned things to your disadvantage, where maybe you perceive that someone else was living it up while you were suffering. Well, now you know what? It's time for you to live it up, and they're not even suffering unless you want them to, but even in that suffering, they are getting pleasure out of it as well, because everything in this matrix exists to assist and serve you, and there is no pleasure and there is no suffering. It's just, what do I want right now? What's going to make me feel really good right now? It's going to be this, and I'm just going to assume that the other individual, they want it because it's from me. And even if they're on their knees begging and groveling, they're begging and groveling to the Lord, and there is none else. So I'm the center of their universe, and they cannot have life without my awareness on them. So it doesn't matter what I instruct them to do in my mind. They're just going to do it, because it brings everything and everyone pleasure to assist and serve me, because these things could not even be animated without your attention on them. So of course they want to be animated in your awareness so that they can have life. So of course it's going to be pleasurable for them. You just had it twisted. You had it backwards this whole fucking time, where you perceived that there were morals and there were ethics and there was right and there was wrong, and you were perceiving things based off of illusory egoistic perceptions that you weren't worthy, or you weren't chosen, or you weren't enough, or you had to earn it. You know what I mean? You don't need to earn shit. You want to step into your power and say, I don't need to earn shit. I'm the Lord and there is none else. Everything exists for me. And no matter what I instruct this thing or this person to do, it's bringing that thing pleasure, right? Because if it's bringing you pleasure, it's bringing that other entity pleasure as well. Do you see what I'm saying? Because you always want to pleasure you. And if you're being pleasured, no matter what that outside person or situation is doing, it is serving you in a pleasurable mode as well, because that's who you are operating as, right? I'm the Lord and there is none else. So this can be someone letting you skip the line at checkout. Oh, of course, that would bring them so much joy and pleasure to let me skip the line and check out. Oh, you want someone to pay for your fucking coffee at Starbucks? You know what? This individual right there, they're gonna buy me a coffee because it would pleasure them to do that. And it's serving you, but it's serving them in some way, which doesn't even fucking matter, because remember, they can only operate based off of the parameters you set for them. So you just assume, even if you flip out on a motherfucker, that served them in a pleasurable way, and maybe they want more of that, or maybe they were turned on, maybe they were intrigued by that. You always want to give it a positive spin to your benefit, no matter how it looks to an ethical or moral or societal construct or code. As you do this throughout your day, you're going to keep that up. You're going to keep up the momentum with every situation. And then before you go to sleep, what you're going to do is the same thing. If you want to do the whole chakra alignment thing, doing to empower yourself so you could get the most excellent, nice sleep, that's totally fine. You're going to do your deep breathing. You're going to set the intention that you're going to have the most perfect, pleasant dreams. If you want a sign or synchronicity or something to be shown in your dream, you're going to fucking intend that. You know, it really doesn't matter. Get as specific as you want. You're going to set the intention for a good night's sleep. And then I recommend for 10 minutes before you go to sleep, you know, again, with interacting with different people, like you could just pretend you're sleeping if you have a partner in a bed with you, and you're still going to say the affirmations, and you're still going to like power yourself up. You're going to say, I'm the Lord and there is none else. I'm having the most wonderful sleep tonight. I will wake up refreshed and energized. Anything that I want to come to pass has already been come to pass. If I meant to receive a message, I receive that message perfectly, pleasantly, peacefully tonight in my dreams, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Even if you want to astral project in your dreams, you're going to set that intention too. You know, you just, whatever you want to set as that intention, just like throughout the day, you're going to keep your shield on, because remember, that's your magic shield. During the night, you are still operating under the parameters of that shield. You're going to picture that over you as you sleep, and then you're going to set your intention, and you're going to sleep, and then you're going to wake up, and then you're going to fucking keep implementing that. And you could do this even if your self-concept is solid, but you know, you don't have to. But typically when someone is doing this, they're just going to start thinking this way naturally. It's not even going to be something that pops up as like a routine. It's going to be on autopilot. And then as you live your life day by day, you want to be consistent at first, especially if your self-concept is a little shaky. You want to be consistent even if you don't see the results right away. You're just going to set the intention that everything always works out perfectly for you, better than you expected, even if you don't see results in the 3D. You know in your mind's eye that all things are possible. You're going to go with that, and you're going to keep setting anchor points and anchor points and anchor points. You're going to allow yourself to flow there. You're going to let the waves carry you, and you're going to be mindful that nothing needs to be earned. Nothing needs to be fought for. If there is something that is causing constriction in you, you're going to breathe through it, and you're going to affirm, I'm the Lord and there is none else. All is well. Everything is perfect. I'm safe. I'm safe in my mind. I'm safe in my body. All is well. Everything is perfect. This situation has now been resolved perfectly to my benefit, for I am the Lord and there is none else, and what I say goes. That's what you're going to do if you feel any type of constriction or anxiety, or if there's any type of spiraling, and you're going to wash, rinse, and repeat. And pretty soon, if you keep up with this routine, it's going to be so solid in you, you're just going to start doing it automatically, and you're going to wake up feeling confident. You're going to go about your day as the main character. The anchor points are going to be able to be easily set naturally. Things are going to flow smoothly. You're not going to be triggered throughout the day, and when you go to sleep, it's going to be peaceful, perfect, restful. And if you're meant to have a precognitive dream, if you're meant to receive messages while you're sleeping, that is going to happen as well, if that is your intention, and it's going to start happening naturally. And this is how you live as God on earth. The most important thing though is you're not going to allow the egoistic monkey mind to ruin your fucking day. You're going to start off the day on a positive note, what you deem as positive. You're going to end your day on what you deem as a positive note. You're going to keep that momentum going, and then it's just going to be natural. And then, my friend, you will be living as a fucking God in the 3D earth matrix.